Hello and welcome to another episode of Prophetcast. Today is September 21st, 2014, and as always, Prophetcast is brought to you by the Thought Prophets. The Thought Prophets is an atheist/secular group dedicated to the promotion of open discussion, continuous learning, skepticism, and science! Woo! You can check us out at thoughtprophets.com. Follow us on Twitter at Prophetcast. Join in our discussion on Facebook by simply searching for Thought Prophets. You can find us on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitchers, and listen to our entire archive on YouTube by searching for Prophetcast. Or you can go to podcast.thoughtprophets.com. And as some of you may already know, but for those of you who are newcomers, how you doing? You doing all right? Awesome. Did you get the welcome basket? What about that 60? You better cherish that for you. But my name's David Curry, and that prime specimen of modern manly misconceptions is Mr. Steve Hayes.
Hello.
Oh,
I like that.
You didn't tell me we were going to be doing
sound effects. I know, right? I just thought about it because it was up. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to hit that button.
Right? Well, I mean, I guess it could be fitting because tonight is a very special episode. This is officially episode 50, and even though we're a couple days late, this is officially our 1-year episode.
Yes, we've done it!
Let's not do overkill on the effects.
Sorry, I know, those things are fun.
We don't want to seem tacky or anything.
What?
I don't know. But,
Got my belt with suspenders.
We've been doing this? No. For a year now, we our technical first episode, I looked and it was on September 2nd, and that was our horrible test episode.
Oh man, that was a rough one, wasn't it? That was a lot of fun though. It was still rough.
Yeah, just trying to figure out what the fuck Hangouts.
Who are we?
What do we do with Hangouts?
What do we do? Yeah. Well, it was. I mean, even more. It was less the technical. Well, I mean, there was definitely some technical difficulties in the beginning with Hangouts, but it was also, just trying to figure out exactly, like, as we just kind of talked what we were going to do, and then little did we realize that was it. Like, just talking was what we were going to do, because
right. And our official Just Talking episode was out on the 10th.
Boom.
Bam! And we're going to put in a link to that very first episode in our description down there. So down there, right down there. Yeah. I know it's hard to believe that we've been doing this for a year. It doesn't even feel like.
No, well, yeah, it doesn't really feel like a year.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like we've been doing this for a year, and it's hard to imagine that we've pretty much been almost consistently every Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if I've ever done anything like this before, where you're just kind of on a whim. Just kind of started something to where I actually really voiced my opinion, to where other people can hear it and criticize it and hate me for it sometimes. But I'm super glad that we did start it, because we've met a lot of really cool people. And I've been really, I've really felt welcome in the atheist community, with the air quotes. But with the people on Twitter, as well as a number of the other podcast hosts and people doing podcasts, almost everybody that we've talked to has been super supportive. A lot of people have come on our show. They've invited us on their show. Like we're working with Paul from Cranify Me. Boom! Right in the beginning of the show. Working with him and doing some skits and. And just promoting everybody else that's doing the same kind of thing. So I've been really, really excited and really happy with kind of everything we've done and everybody we've met. I'm really excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely agree. It's like everyone that we have met through the show and on Twitter and through, our joint ventures and everything. It's been awesome working with so many just really nice and really great people. I mean, it's hard to actually find, assholes that stick around. I mean, it's easy enough to filter out the people through Twitter and the shows and things like that, where you really do end up meeting a lot of really great people.
Yeah, and a lot of them really try to help you by giving you great advice and
help others also. I mean, it's like the shit that
Mubarak is going through.
That Mubarak is going through, the GoFundMe to try and get Indiegogo, right?
Indiegogo, yeah. Which,
One
by the
of
way,
those- one of those sites, yeah.
you
Which
guys should go to Indiegogo.
Yeah, and search
Support
for the support Mubarak. We're going to have a link in the description for that.
I think it's Mubarak for school, or school for Mubarak, right? School for Mubarak.
Hashtag school for Mubarak.
And Godless Mom is doing some promotion with some books that have signatures from authors like Peter. I always screw his name up. I'm so sorry, Peter. But like Peter and Sam Harris, and it's like Peter Bergozniak. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So there's some books like that. Some books that are signed that they're kind of doing a giveaway and things like that. And
right.
So definitely go check that out. Look at the hashtag, as David said, School for Mubarak, and that's the number 4, and check out Godless Mom's stuff about that. So Nancy Drew can also tell you a lot more about that as well. She's awesome.
Yeah, and I
forgot we haven't mentioned her in a little while, so
figured involved in it also.
Yes,
yeah, Nancy is definitely helping out a lot with spreading the message as well.
It seems like everything. It seems like she's everywhere. But
pretty much.
That's just me.
Pretty much.
She's definitely on Twitter all the time, but yeah. So, anyway, so what's new, man? What's up? What's happening? Anything exciting that you want to report? Anything going on in your life that any new underwear, or any fancy dresses, or anything that you picked up lately?
No.
Man, that's disappointing.
I know. Do I have to have something like amazing happening all the time? Can't I just, busy with work and busy with school, Steve?
No, you can. I mean, and you being here with me is amazing enough. I am. I'm definitely entertained, and you being here is amazing enough for me. I'm just curious if you have anything that you like I don't know, like you punched a baby or something lately that you want to report. I don't know, anything thrilling. No, nothing.
Nothing thrilling.
Nothing kick-ass like baby punching.
No,
that's not really kick-ass either.
Me?
Me? Not really too much. I mean, I've been kind of goofing around with this Godless Life a little bit more, as well as the work podcast. So I found some intros. I think I may or may not have found a new intro. I've asked a few people, and they've given me some interesting feedback. So, but what I was going to say is that I'm definitely planning on. I'm probably going to talk to her tomorrow. I was talking with my wife, Amanda Hayes from humanistmom.com. I know, right? All these pimpins.
Right.
I was talking with her, and some of the things she was telling me about was like, she said that she talked to some friends, and they were having some issues with their kids when they came home from school, and some of the issues were like, they the teacher says that they listen all day and they do a great job, but when they come home, they're just monsters, they don't listen, and blah blah blah. And so Amanda, I was talking with her, and she was giving me some interesting information, just like, here's some common things, and this is pretty common, and here's why, and here's some tactics. And I was like, holy shit, this would be awesome to just talk to you and give those tips and advice to people like us. So I was going to talk to her and record that and push that out here soon. So that's what I'm going to be working on soon. Is I'm going to be talking to my wife and recording it. That's what I'm doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? I just realized that's the gist of it, really.
Yeah, if we didn't exactly know the context of that, people would think that you were getting ready for like a lawsuit or something. I'm gonna record my wife in our discussions.
Yeah, well, she's gonna, I'm gonna get it that she's willingly, accepts that she's gonna be recorded. So, at least this time. Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh.
Hey.
Heyo.
Heyo. So. Anyway, so speaking of parents and children, I suppose that's kind of a great way to get into Adrian Peterson. I know it's kind of somewhat old news right now.
Well, it's
old-ish, sort of.
That is relevant and changing. It's old-ish.
Old-ish. That's it comes like old news. I mean, because of what it's kind of cascaded, or what's cascaded after it. Just like everything with the sponsors going on with the NFL. So why don't you give us a rundown, David? You I don't want to say that you wrote like a fucking shit ton over here, but you wrote a shit ton at least. At least a shit ton.
Well, I mean, the reason that I wrote a shit ton is just because from the moment that I heard about this shit and just the continuous bullshit that was coming from the Adrian Peterson situation. I
Supporters,
do not
apologists.
tolerate fucking people who beat their children. I do not tolerate that shit.
Me either.
So just to get a little rundown, let's take a minute to talk about Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson, for those of you who don't know, is an NFL running back for the Minnesota Vikings. Recently, he has fallen into some hot water, as we're kind of hinting at, about the abuse he inflicted to his young son.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think he fell into hot water. That was not the story that I read about. I thought.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
He didn't fall into hot water. Hot water as in the expression you mean. Gotcha.
It's a damn expression, Steve. It's
Okay.
a damn expression.
I am with you now. Go ahead.
Right. But basically, I have some Okay, so basically he beat his fucking child, his defenseless 4-year-old child, with a switch. If you don't know what a switch is, it is a piece of wood or a tree branch or something that is pretty thin. You know, rule of thumb, that's where rule of thumb comes from. That's the size of the switch that you can use to beat your wife or beat your children. And he proceeded to hit him on his legs, his buttocks, his face, his genitalia, and there were defensive wounds on the child's hands that were still visible 5 days after the beating.
I mean, it's a 4-year-old, and to get... Oh, sorry. That's just disgusting. Go ahead.
No, seriously, that is seriously fucking disgusting. I mean, why would you do that to a 4-year-old
right?
boy, a 4-year-old child?
Right.
And use an instrument that is meant to increase the effectiveness of your beatings.
Right. And I mean, and here's the thing too is there are people who I know that have they believe in like the or not believe, whatever, they follow like the spanking rule or whatever, right? What I see here is like just listening to where some of these marks are. It doesn't sound like he tried to do it in kind of like a controlled manner, and I am not by any means saying that I agree with spanking or anything.
The controlled manner.
Right. I'm not an expert, nor am I saying that that's what I think that you should spanking's okay as long as it's controlled. No. What I'm saying is that generally with spanking you find the markings on the buttocks, we'll use it says there, on the ass. So usually spankings you get spankings on the ass, and then or maybe a belt right on the ass, and that's generally where the marks are. This sounds like the kid may have been like fucking standing up, and the dude was just fucking wailing on him while he's like maybe putting his hands up or something. Some of those markings, some of those places, like honestly, unless you're a running back, I understand maybe you don't have any aim, but seriously, that's fucking bullshit.
Open wounds on this boy's legs that were still visible 5 days after the beating. And I mean, the only reason that we found out about this is because the kid went to a doctor's appointment, and the doctor, of course, being a good fucking doctor, not letting a football star get away with this kind of shit, reported it. I mean, like, to look a little bit more into fucking Adrian Peterson and how much of a goddamn piece of garbage he is. This man has 7 kids with 6 different women. 7 fucking children, and he decides to take care of this boy. And he takes care of this boy by fucking beating him. You think that he would have learned that when one of his other children, his little baby son, was beaten to death by his baby's mama's boyfriend, and he never even met that child that died, that he would learn that maybe the shit that I grew up with, because there's stories coming out where like his coach used to fucking give him beatings, that he would receive beatings from his abusive father. It's like, what kind of man did this abuse, did this kind of ass whooping, did this kind of form of punishment create? A fucking man that beats his son, still perpetuating the violence to a point where you're going to really damage this kid and give him scars and markings.
Sorry, that's just...
I know.
It's absolutely disgusting, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fucking ridiculous how people can sit here and, you know, can call this man a dad because he's a father to these children. He's a fucking sperm donor to these children. But it takes a real man to be a dad, and it takes a real man to sit there and own up to the fucking children that you have. Yep. You don't sit here and bust out 7 fucking children and not take care of any of them, to the point where you put one of your children into a situation where your child dies, where you don't even get to meet your child. You don't get to find out anything about it. You just know that you have a kid, but it dies because you left into a situation where it
and the one that you do have to take care of, you beat, you know, with the switch. Wow. Yeah. Amanda says in the Q&A, she says, in a text message to the child's mother, he said that the little boy didn't cry at all. He he's he is tough as nails was what he said.
Which is bullshit. If the doctor is making a analysis of the wounds and says that there are defensive wounds on your son's hands, I don't think that's tough as nails, because obviously at one point he was trying to get you to stop. Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and not to mention just the idea that, oh, well, you know, he can take it. He's, you know, he's some kind of a man, or that's some kind of, you know, that's some kind of good thing to do. You know, the kid is tough because he took my beatings. God,
yeah, apology.
What a piece of shit.
Which is the next part, how there are just so many fucking pieces of shit that are actually condoning this type of violence towards children.
Actually, this is what I was going to say. You were mentioning when we were talking earlier, you were saying that you were kind of pissed off at Charles Barkley, and I wanted to hear a little bit more as to why. Like, tell me a little bit more about why. Why are you so pissed off at him?
The first couple of days after this came out, for some reason, on a fucking football show, they brought on Charles Barkley to give a comment on this shit.
Oh, I thought they were going to show us his golf swing. Okay.
Right, yeah, with all of the multiple talents that he has. But all of the Fox talking heads that are out there and all the prominent figures like Charles Barkley have actually come out to defend this shit. Like, Mr. Barkley said that if this kind of spanking counted as abuse, then every black parent in the South would be guilty of abuse and a crime. So, first, motherfucker, you were painting a very broad brush over your own race, which is fucking sad.
And that's
not only that. Hang on, not only that, but you are fucking putting an entire group of people. If you are black and you live in the South, you fall under the stereotype that you're just going to not give a fuck and you're going to beat your fucking children. And by saying that, not only are you making a large progressive majority look at the South in an even worse light, but you're also making yourself look like a fucking cunt who thinks that beating a child is okay.
Yeah. Oh, God. Not to mention, I mean, so first off, the fallacies in that. I mean, holy shit! Like, I'm gonna get bandwagon here. Well, just because everybody else in the South does it, and appeal to populace, so everybody in the South does it. So,
and I mean, just because, you know, your parents may have given you a good ass whooping back in the day doesn't mean that it's fucking good now, and doesn't mean that it's fucking right now.
I got beat, so and I turned out okay. It's like, well, good for you. You still have some fucked up fucking problems that probably came from some of the beatings that you got.
Right.
You don't have to beat your fucking child to get them to listen and pay attention and to learn societal norms and how to talk to you and how to trust you. I mean, I don't know about you, but I find it hard to trust someone who beats me. I don't know.
Right. But I mean, but see, that's a real commentary on the perpetuating this idea that corporal punishment is an okay way to raise your child.
Right.
Because it happened to him and he turned out okay, therefore if it happens to other children, they are going to turn out okay. But obviously not, because these children who were beat continue the violence and beat their children. It's like, you should really take the effort with the information that we know and the information that we have and fucking Be the break in the fucking chain, people.
Seriously.
Be the one who's going to say, I went through this, it was fucking terrible. I am never going to put my children through this. I'm going to be a better parent.
Exactly, especially if you have a public face. That's something that is so important. You have the eye and the ears of our youth and a lot of people. So you can actually talk and actually influence other people. That's why I'm trying. I mean, I've been telling everybody, try to make me more popular, because I'll go ahead and, you know, well, I guess you can make me and David popular. We'll run for president. And, you know, we'll do this shit.
Fuck yes.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you have a public face and you have the eyes and ears of people, use it for the good of humanity. Use it to better somebody else's life or a group of people's lives, or I mean, the people around you. Do something good with your popularity. Stop being like these fucking dumbass Justin Bieber douchebags who go and spit on the people who adore him and fucking get into crashes and live a life where he's a fucking asshole rather than actually doing something. Actually doing something good. Fuck you, Justin Bieber. Fuck you.
I love how we just kind of went into Justin Bieber like that. I mean,
he's a fucking douchebag.
Fucking amazing. And what's even worse about this is, I mean, like, the NFL is finally taking a stand against this shit. Yep. And like we were talking about before the show, because of the gross negligence on this case and every other fucking domestic abuse case, every other fucking case where NFL players have been involved in fucking crime and murder and domestic violence, and oh yeah, that's right, what about a fucking dog ring, a dog fighting ring? Because of the gross negligence, this is finally what makes advertisers and sponsors crack.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, this is what makes them say, we're not really cool with what you're doing here, so we may possibly stop sponsoring the NFL.
Yeah, and see, and it's sad that this is again what it takes is the sponsors. This wasn't the NFL going, okay, we're going to take a stand because we're going to take the moral high ground here, and you know because we're good people or whatever. No, this was them responding to the advertisers. Mentioning that they're going to jump ship. That's why they're like, oh shit, we better do something about this. Not, oh shit, we just don't agree with people and we don't really want people like that in our organization. Right. Rather than that actually being their point, they come across with, oh fuck, we're going to lose our advertisers. Let's step up and do something. Now we need to do something.
No, yeah, it's
fuck you, NFL.
It's nothing about the safety of the children or the safety of these, these women primarily that are being abused by these football players. It's nothing about the safety of these people. It's about the safety of their fucking money. It's about the safety of their fucking wallet. And, I mean, Kevin makes a good point, Kev the Infidel now on Twitter, so it makes a good point that if you were beaten and claimed to turn out okay, you didn't turn out okay. You turned into an advocate for abuse, which I completely fucking agree with. Yep. If you sit here and you make excuses and you say, oh, sometimes kids need a good ass whooping, or sometimes that's all that they know, or it wasn't that bad, or all black people in the South do beatings like this, you are advocating abuse because you have a voice. These people are sitting here and they're saying, oh man, Charles Barkley, he's an amazing player and he obviously knows what he's doing, so if he says that it's okay, and if he says that all these black people do it, then fine, maybe it's okay. But really, let's sit here and let's take your glorious justification for beating a child is just standard practice for all of the children who were literally beaten to death. Like the child of Adrian Peterson's that was beaten to death. By the boyfriend. What about the 5-month-old baby that was beaten to death recently in Florida within the past week? And the DC mother who beat her 3-year-old to death. And what about our home state? What about Hannah Williams, who died out in the cold because her parents fucking abused her to death? Should we use the same justification there too? Where do we draw the line? And are we just going to say they took it a little too far? Maybe they should have not done that? Like, if we're going to sit here and justify this type of beating, then why the fuck should we prosecute the people who kill their children with a good ass whooping? Where do we get off prosecuting those people if we're going to sit here and fucking advocate and make excuses for open sores and wounds 5 days after the beating?
I mean,
what the fuck kind of bullshit is this?
Yeah. Yes, I want to move to something else because God, I feel like I feel the rage just building, and I'd rather talk about something like Kevin Sorbo.
I haven't gotten a good rant in, and I hope people appreciated that.
I thought it was great. I absolutely love it, and I mean, I feel like I don't have anything else to say. Like, and you know, you kind of busted out in Hercules mode here, so I figure.
I totally did.
You did. You were Hercules in this bitch. So.
Well, Hercules needs to rest his vocal cords. So if you want to talk about Mr. Sorbo, I would be more than happy to make a comment.
Well, Mr. Sorbo mentioned that mentioned the amount of Christian movies being produced, and he mentioned why you just don't see that many Christian movies produced this much these days. And gosh, I mean. David, could you guess why you just don't see as many Christian movies? I mean, you know, based on your reason, your logic, and the way that you process things, what you know about the world, why would you say there's little Christian movies posted these days?
Well, obviously it's because of the Jew gold scandal of the Jew machine, which is Jew Hollywood.
You got it. That's pretty much it. At least that's what Kevin Sorbo thinks. Wow, man, you are good. Holy shit, you are well educated, sir.
What can I say?
Well educated.
Kevin Sorbo and I are like spirit animals to one another.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you want to take his spirit animal, I mean, he was, you know, was the atheist of God's Not Dead. So
right.
He can fit. Yeah, this shit just cracked me up. I mean, first off, just Kevin Sorbo, you know, the role that he played, and the fact that he's playing in, I guess, another Christian movie, isn't it? Was it a movie or is it a play or something like that? I thought he was going to star in something again coming up here soon.
He's actually busting out with a couple different movies. I mean,
what I thought.
Yeah, he has a couple different movies that are coming out right now. But go ahead and I'm going to find out, actually, because now I'm interested.
I was going to say, yeah, right? So, anyway, so the story came out on the 16th. Kevin Sorbo went on another right-wing Christian talk show, not only to promote the DVD release of his new movie, but to also talk shit. To talk shit about the very industry he works in. I'm going to move this over here, David, if I'm going to read shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, there's this reading thing that I've got to do. Oh, man. You know? It's like... No, notes really help keep you on track. You know what I mean? Like they really tell you what's going on. So, anyways, Hercules went on the conservative Christian broadcaster Peter Heck radio show, and he discussed the movie business and in general the religious-themed movies that he's at least been in, or at least them in general. Right. And he basically blamed the Jews. He said that because Hollywood's run by the Jews, as David said, that's why the Jew machines, Hollywood Jew machines.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you don't see the real stories, and that's why you just don't see as many Christian movies coming out. So, David, how does that make you feel? I mean, knowing that that's the reason. I mean, clearly that's the reason. That's what. I mean, it's fucking Kevin Sorbo. He wouldn't lie.
That obviously.
He played an atheist.
It's the Jews, obviously, that are keeping the Christian values out of movies.
I think so. That's what Kevin Sorbo thinks, right? That's what I'm.
Right. Yes. That's
what I believe now.
I don't know how it makes me feel. I mean, isn't it something that we've made jokes about for a long time?
Over and over. I feel like we have. Are you suggesting that here on our birthday or anniversary episode that we should be encouraging our listeners to go back and listen to our previous shows? As a matter of fact, they can listen to one every week for the next 52 weeks if they really wanted, right?
Sure.
I mean, that's roughly I think that's like a year, somewhere around there, right?
I guess.
I don't know. You could. We've been around for a year or so, but...
Right.
Anyways, just bringing that back up.
To continue on with the ridiculousness that Kevin Sorbo has been saying.
You want me to continue? What are you saying?
I thought you were, unless you want me to read through all of my notes.
Well, you have some fantastic notes, but I mean, like I said, I kind of skip around when I read through my stuff, so.
Right. Yeah. You don't really keep on track here.
Nope.
So yeah, I mean, like like you said there, he went on Peter Heck's radio show. And he talked about they were talking about Noah initially, and Kevin Sorbo he said that his wife called the Noah film Transformers meets Waterworld, which personally to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because sure, I understand that the Transformers franchise has been fucked up the ass with the recent movies that have come out, but
one way to put it.
Waterworld was a damn good movie.
Yes, it was.
I fucking love Waterworld. That was awesome.
Yeah, so keep your fucking opinion about Waterworld to your goddamn self, Sorbo.
Goddamn right. But he continued to say that in reference to Noah that to Noah, he proclaimed that he thinks next time when they do, character in the Bible. I know.
In the Bible.
Hire at least an agnostic and not an atheist to direct it. I mean, the director is a self-proclaimed atheist.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember reading this. I love that, self-proclaimed atheist.
Right.
Like how I want to know, because I'm also a self-proclaimed atheist, but I would like to somehow get I'd like to be, like atheist knighted, please. Like, can somebody please knight me, or I mean, I don't know, give me the official, whatever I need, the membership card, or whatever it is that I need to have.
To be a self-proclaimed atheist?
No, to be an official atheist, because self-proclaimed, you know what I mean? I mean, he calls himself an atheist. And so,
but he's not really an atheist.
Well, he could or could not be. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't have the official card, is all I'm saying. I don't know, and neither do I. I'm a self-proclaimed atheist.
You don't have the official card?
No, actually, I don't. I have. I'm kind of. Do you? Oh, shit. I don't. I really. If someone could send that to me, I'd really appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you. But anyway. Anyways, self-proclaimed atheist.
Right, but to really drive the Jew Gold's conspiracy home, to bring light of the imminent threat of the Jew brainwashing. He said, I sort of understand how they never want to deal with the New Testament in Hollywood.
Never.
Because it's pretty much, run by the world of the Jewish population. At the same time, at least get someone who has, belief that the potential is there, that it could be a real story.
Real story.
Right. So let's do a quick rewind and recap here. Rewind. Not only does Kevin Sorbo say that the Jewish community doesn't like Mel Gibson in the Passion of the Christ because it paints them in a bad light and shows the world that the Jews killed Jesus.
Shitty painter. No Picasso here.
He has, insulted all atheists with his poor acting and a terribad portrayal and misunderstanding of the atheist position.
I thought his acting was great, but I don't. If that's what the atheist
he's an amazing actor, but it's just he really needs to get into method acting to really understand the position of his characters.
Are you suggesting that he gets into meth? Is that what you just said? He needs to get into meth?
So that he can really find God. But now,
okay.
Jews don't want to make more Christian movies because they know that it will make money and spread the word of Christ.
Oh, that's what I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, man. That's what. That's why I try to keep as many Bibles away from people as I can, because if they gets in the hands of people and they actually read through it, they just start automatically believing. And wait. When you read the Bible, did you just jump out of it? I mean, did you go away thinking I believe that entire thing, and now I'm a.
We both know that answer.
Oh.
But I think it's kind of funny how.
Right, we do.
His position on Mel Gibson and the Passion of the Christ, because yes, it does paint Jews in a bad light. That's the reason for the movie. I mean, it was used as anti-Semitic propaganda when it was originally created. So
some big words, David.
What, like propaganda?
Anti-Semitic and propaganda.
That's because I'm learned.
Whoa.
Oh.
Are you from Tahoma?
Barely graduated, but yes.
Yeah.
Woo! So yeah,
Nice.
that was just something that I thought was fucking hilarious. How, obviously Christian movies, there's a demographic for it, and obviously it'll make money. But
Well,
the
obviously,
dudes who
we
run
got a
Hollywood
Christian up in Lincoln Park. All right.
talking bad about the Jews.
Talking bad about the Jews. He's climbing in your window. He's snatching your Bible up, trying to read them.
But Kevin, again, he says that it would be cool if someone could do a Revelations movie, like all of it. Maybe Jackson could do it in less than 6 years.
That would be cool, right? Especially with like the seven-headed Hydra and everything.
Right.
Or the seven-headed beast. Sorry, it's not
The Book of Revelations.
Anyways, yeah.
Well, I mean, they already did that Bible saga. History or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know what? I haven't watched that. I watched it. I think at the time when it came out, I was still during my somewhat angry phase, and I didn't want anything to do with like Bible stuff now, or Bible stuff. And now I do. I don't mind reading and watching and laughing at that silliness sometimes. So we should watch that. We should watch and do a review, like episode by episode.
Sure, totally. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Maybe we could actually get into, like watching an episode with other people. We could do a hangout.
I don't like other people. I really don't. I just want to hang around you, David. That's it. Yeah, actually, that'd be really cool, right? Get a bunch of people involved.
Tell us what you think. Tell us.
Yeah.
Send us a message if you want to watch the Bible with us, that History Channel or
hit us up.
Discovery or whatever, and if you want to watch it in a hangout, let us know. Or should we just review it? What should we do? Do you want to hang out with us and watch us get drunk and
touch ourselves? No, wait, not touch ourselves. Watch the Bible on the History Channel.
I can officially say that the only reason that I'm wearing a shirt right now, because it is hot as balls in here, but the only reason that I'm wearing a shirt, this is being recorded, but privately, it's hot as balls in here. Just
hot.
Just saying.
Just saying. Hot as balls. Yeah, it is. I know, we'd have the shirt off right now, and I wouldn't mind having a shirt off, but
right.
You know what I mean? I can't have that much tension here. You know what I mean? But hey, I wanted to hit up on a kind of an update. We hit on the 10 Commandments at the state capitol in Oklahoma a couple episodes back. I can't remember exactly when. But it was a few episodes back, and there was an update on it where I guess the State Preservation Commission in late 2013 put a halt to new monuments at the Capitol pending the outcome of the ACLU lawsuit after groups petitioned to have markers for Satan, a monkey god, and a spaghetti monster erected near the 10 Commandments monument, which I am all for. I'd love to definitely see a spaghetti monster monument, because that would be awesome. That's our team name right now at work. We're the team flying spaghetti monster, so it's pretty sick. Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Right? I know. I don't know how we got away with it, but it's pretty sweet.
I'm glad that they're actually they're waiting to see the outcome of it, even though I'm pretty sure that they think that the lawsuit is going to turn in their favor, where it'll say that you can't have other religions up there except for the 10 Commandments, which if the Supreme Court
I was going to say, good luck getting through the Supreme Court.
Right, because then it's like, so what? You're saying that all of the other religions are not valid, and we're not allowed to put our shit
called
up
an endorsement.
Court? Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, don't we have like an amendment for something like that? Or something? Yeah, we have something like that in our charisma or our.
There's this one little sentence that's written on the back of a napkin, like a bar napkin that has like a ring on it from.
Yeah.
And it's somewhere in DC.
Yeah, and it says something like, if you like it, then you better put a ring on it, right? That's the napkin you're talking about? Oh, it's on the other side of that. You're talking about the one that's called, like, they called it the Constitution or something like that? Yeah. I read something about that in college. I don't know. Wasn't that important or very interesting. Yeah, so anyways, they've halted that. So I can't wait to kind of see the outcome of this, because it's just fascinating, when this kind of stuff happens, when you hear It's kind of similar. Oh, fuck! I just remembered a thing I wanted to talk about more because this just happened. But it's very similar to the satanic coloring book that they just passed out in, I think, Florida.
Right.
Yeah, they just passed that out. I forgot I was going to put that on here to talk about. It's funny how that kind of works when they push these clearly clearly illegal laws, or these laws that are aimed just for their particular belief.
Well.
And when other people, start to take advantage of them, how quickly they throw up their hands and go, "Wait, stop! Oh no, hold on! You're not.
Yeah,
This isn't what we wanted."
I remember hearing about that story because wasn't it that the school district in question, they were allowing Christian materials to be passed out to elementary school students or something?
That's correct.
And so the Satanist church decided to create their own materials or get their own materials for children and pass it out because so far they're actually the school district is allowing them to do it. It's just a matter of time until it actually happens.
Yeah. This kind of takes a slight sidestep, but it's kind of along the same line. So the other day, Danny came home with a bracelet or something like that about Boy Scouts. And Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts, and I don't know how I feel about that because I was a Boy Scout. I was an Eagle Scout at 13, so I had a lot of fun in it. But I don't, because it's a Christian organization. I don't know how I feel about them passing it out at schools because again, that's not a place where that should be. I mean, and I don't know, but I mean, again, it kind of irks me the wrong way, but at the same time, there's no secular groups that I know of that are doing it. So I guess, I don't know if the school has turned down other groups and has only allowed the Boy Scouts, but,
Yeah, I mean, at the same time...
I don't agree with them attaching something to them and forcing them to bring it home kind of thing. That's what I don't agree with. If they want to put a stand-up and that the kids can take it with them, that's fine. But this, go into the classrooms and attach a bracelet to all the kids so they're forced to, come home with it, it doesn't matter if it's Boy Scouts or secular Scouts. I don't think that they should be forcing it around any kids that, make it come home. This should be an optional thing for them to choose. And I thought that they did the same thing with the Girl Scouts too, but I don't know. Like I said, I only knew about Danny because I only have a boy in school right now. And I only just learned about it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, like, we've said before, it kind of goes into this little bubble where people think that, we're going to go and we're the Boy Scouts. We're going to go and we're going to advertise ourselves to all these young kids who are just now old enough to get into the Boy Scouts. Mm-hmm. And they automatically think that it's like, people like us, so these people are not going to have a problem with us
people like us.
Yeah, and I do agree where I don't know how I would feel about it just because of the the whole situation with them forcing their homophobic beliefs on the organization. Yep. But at the same time, I mean, I did have fun in the Scouts. I did.
So did I.
When I was in it, I did enjoy it and I did have fun, and that's what's sad because when I do have a boy, or if I do have a boy, and I would want them to experience that. But at the same time, I don't want this, this organization pushing those type of beliefs.
Exactly.
Or perpetuating those types of beliefs. I mean, to a point, there are some things that are acceptable in an organization like that, like promoting respect and integrity and, critical thinking, all of these different things. But when it comes down to, the way that you promoting not treating each other fairly, because I mean that's one thing that comes along with integrity and
because they're different, right? They don't get to do what you do.
It's like if you have integrity, you're not going to sit here and discriminate against somebody because they're different, or because you don't like their lifestyle. It's like that's not having integrity. That's not being, a upstanding person. That's twisting those things.
Exactly. That's not. Yeah, exactly. I would agree. That's not a healthy or a good outlook to have on life. Absolutely not. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I definitely agree with that stuff. And then there's the obvious, just the integration with God in the Christian nonsense that is in their oath and in the law.
Right.
So I mean, you know, it's all about, you know, it's definitely in there. So I don't know. I mean, I agree. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I got Eagle Scout when I was 13. Like I had a fucking blast in the Scouts, but I just don't like them. I just don't like the idea of, you know, them forcing it, like, you know, putting that bracelet.
And well, that, you know, these are the reasons why people need to get more involved with Camp Quest, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Camp Quest. Northwest. Camp Quest.
Yeah.
Northwest.
Well, they're all over the place.
They are. I'm just promoting Northwest because that's where we live.
Yeah, I mean, they have Camp Quest in fucking Australia and over in Europe and shit like that.
And down in Texas, and yeah.
It's definitely an alternative, but it's, from what I've seen, it's not as in depth, and it's not as, you know, like, it's nowhere on the same level as Boy Scouts, basically, is what I'm saying.
Well,
you know?
yeah,
or Girl Scouts.
Right. One's a day camp, and the other one's like a, you know, a program, like a yearly program.
Right.
You go weekly. You know, meet with the kids. You regularly the same, you know, generally the same kids. You know, then you plan out to go to other events with these kids and stuff. So I mean, it's kind of similar. And God, I mean, it really makes me kind of want to start like a secular Scouts or something like that. The Sailor Scouts, ooh, fuck yes.
No.
Hell yeah. Anyways, so you know, I kind of wanted to do something like that. Would be really fun. That way we can get a similar experience. You get the same experience that the Boy Scouts get, except without the God and the bigotry and nonsense.
Well,
you know, just
you would think that, you know, the more people that get involved with Camp Quest, the more that they would have funding to be able to turn it into something like that.
Yeah, it's a hard thing though when you bust the word, you know, the secular, the atheist, or the agnostic word, because of so many people being involved with churches and religions and just the negative, you know, the negative connotation that comes with the non-believer.
Right.
Non-believer. Yeah, so
the sodomites, the heretics.
Right. Heretics. Are you heathens? Yeah, so you know what else is fucking hilarious?
What's fucking hilarious?
It cracks me up. I don't know if you follow Joel Osteen. Or
Austin. I love Joel Osteen.
Osteen, however you fucking pronounce it. The guy is amazing. I watch him all the time. I donate as much money as I can to him. You know, I really love the fucking giant stage that he has and performs on. I love how he has like at a minimum like 500. I mean, I don't even remember. It's like 500 or 1,000 or something like that people a day.
Yeah, it's easily like close to 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of people, and you know, he lives in a $10 million mansion in Texas, and he is worth a net $50 million.
Nice.
Just from being a preacher. You know, he's totally spreading the word of God, and that's what he's doing, and you know.
That's hot.
And Jesus. But you know, lately, or just on Monday, I guess, he he posted something to his Facebook page that not only got me cracking the fuck up, but apparently got a bunch of other people kind of pointing and laughing, a bunch of his own followers. He had posted something talking about God says in Numbers 11:23, Moses, is there any limit to my power? He was saying, Moses, you saw me part the Red Sea, stop the sun for Joshua, keep 3 Hebrew teenagers safe in a fiery furnace. Don't you realize that I can bring water without rain? There's no limit to God's power.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So that was a fun post that he actually put. The unfortunate part for Joel, that's not at all. He wasn't actually talking to Moses at that time, because Numbers 11:23 starts out.
He wasn't talking to Moses, or are we talking about God talking?
God, sorry, Joel definitely wasn't talking to Moses. I mean, he may be. I mean, whatever. You know, he's smoking up, but he was the quote that he was, or the numbers scripture that he was talking about was actually talking about Joshua. The very beginning sentence of that is. Oh, I just lost it. Wherever the hell it went, was talking about. That's right. After the death of Moses. That's the very first thing that it says right there.
I may have to Google that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check it out. So it's Numbers 11:23, and then some of the other things that he mentioned in there came from Joshua, and like Daniel, the book of Daniel was like the three teenagers, and the son was in Joshua. That was Joshua. But anyways. I just thought that was hilarious because it had something like Oh God, it was in here. Sorry, let me find it. The exact numbers. It had something like 500,000 likes and like 300,000 shares, and that was like by Friday, and I think it was Wednesday or so that when people like his followers started to kind of like, hey, wait a minute, wait, this isn't at all what you're talking about. So I just thought that shit was kind of great. That even people who make millions of dollars don't even read their own fucking book.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's especially fucking Joel Osteen. It just makes this whole. It just proves more and more how some people, some of these fucking megachurch preachers, the majority of them really, are full of shit. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
Joel Osteen and his wife have come out to say that they admit that they are doing all of this for the fucking money. That the more money that they have, the more that they can spread God's glory. And it's like, you are fucking kidding me, right? You're sitting here and you are literally admitting, we love your money. Thank you.
We love money!
Thank you. Yes, we love Jesus, but we love your money even more.
Gold.
So that we can love Jesus even more.
Yeah. I just thought that was great. Even these mega preachers and these people, these followers, they don't even look. They straight up just like or share and don't even read what's in their own text, which is really no surprise. Hey man, we have 8 minutes left, so I was wondering if there was anything else you wanted to talk about. Was there anything that's on your mind? Anything you feel you didn't get to say, David?
No, not specifically. I mean, I could continue to rant about Adrian Peterson, but I don't want to
bring it full circle.
Right,
all the way back around.
I know. Talking about that shit again.
It's pretty gross. It's pretty disgusting. Well, so why don't we do this then? Why don't we talk about then? Let's like I said, let's end this on a fun note then. So this is our year, our anniversary, our birthday, whatever it is you want to call it. What do you expect? What do you expect to going forward? What do you want to be doing or hope to accomplish? Let's say in the next year.
Well, I mean, yeah, within the next year, of course. I'm just glad that we have been this stable for the past year that we already have, and I would hope that I look to get more back into a groove. Like I want to start, I like talking to. However much I love talking to you, Steve, I also enjoy talking to other people out there in the community. And
absolutely,
we are currently talking to somebody that I'm really interested in that I discovered from the Ask an Atheist radio show. I'm talking to this gentleman to see if he wants to come on the show and give us his story and what he's doing down in the middle of bullshit Texas. But
down in the middle of Texas,
I don't know. I mean, how whatever happens, bro. I mean, I don't like to think that there's any kind of plan, and I don't like to think that there's a destination that this show is going towards. But I just want to go for another year.
Is there
by year here?
Is there any names that anybody that you would like to see on the show that we can try to get this next year? Who would you like to bring on and talk to?
Man. Well, I mean, going from our discussion on Gamma's show, Atheist Hangouts, I mean, of course, I would love to talk to Lawrence Krauss. Of course. Mm-hmm. Which I actually thought was kind of funny, like, that when we were answering that question for David, it kind of really spelled out our personalities, who we wanted our like prime guest to be. Because you said that yours was Matt Dillahunty, right?
Oh, definitely Matt Dillahunty. Yeah,
and mine was Lawrence Krauss. And I think it's funny where it's like, I enjoy a lot of science-y stuff. I enjoy a lot of like the cool, like, this is awesome reality about the world and learning shit about that. And that really speaks to who, I want, Lawrence Krauss. Man. And you really like to debate people. You really like to fucking talk to people about this shit and really work out this bullshit. And that's where you want Matt Dillahunty, who is an amazing debater. And so I thought that was kind of
He's a master debater.
Yes. Yes. Um,
I want to master debate like him.
but let's see. I don't know. I mean, that's the first name to come to
Yeah,
mind.
that's who I figured you were gonna say. To be honest with you, that was my
What
guess.
about you, Steve?
I,
What do you see for the next year? What grandiose plans do you have
what
for
plans do I have for this bad boy?
Prophetcast?
Well, in all honesty, I'd like to see a little bit more like viewer participation. To be honest with you, I wanted to kind of promote more. Like, there's this cool call-in feature that we have over here, and we have the Q&A. But I'd like to we tried to do that at the idea of bringing one of our viewers on and just chatting with them earlier on when we were kind of learning about what we were going to do, and that didn't work out at all. So what I'd really like to do is kind of like have like that caller, like the caller thing, so people can call in and ask us questions, and maybe we can kind of like the atheist experience style and kind of maybe have some discussion a little bit. Because I kind of like you said, I'd like to hear from some other people, and one of the things that I really like about what we do is we're just normal people. We're not these super, we're not like Lawrence Krauss, we're not Richard Dawkins, we're not Bill Nye, that kind of things. We're just normal people, and I want to hear from other normal people.
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye would be cool, wouldn't it? That would be rad. But so I'd like to see more viewer participation, and yeah, that's really what I want. I also, of course, like I think I said in a previous episode too, I'd love to see us get bigger and get more known, but it's not for the reason of like that's when we can make money. It's because, much like I was saying earlier, if you are popular,
make money.
Right? Hey, if you're popular, I want, that means more people. You have the ear and the eyes of more people, and I want to be able to spread, positive messages, and I want to be able to let other people know it's okay to be an atheist. It's okay to, to challenge, challenge the norm. It's okay to be unique in who you are, and also, I want to, much like we talk about, I want to promote open discussion, continuous learning, skepticism, and science. But I really want to be able to talk, talk with more people and learn more, really, because I can always learn more. Oh, heretic woman would call us. Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Heretic woman. Yeah, I bet you would school me. I'm sure, actually. You're pretty damn smart, and I'm not that smart, so.
Yeah, maybe we can start trying to do that here in the next year, and
I think it'd be fun.
Figure all of that out. So.
Yeah. So, anyways, so that's, like I said, that's kind of my idea. So yeah, I don't know, but what about pimpins? You gotta have pimpins on the birthday episode.
Pimpins? Man, I don't like to single people fucking out. Well, if. I guess I could promote Gamma Atheist again on Atheist Hangouts just because last week I was supposed to be on his Thursday episode, but unfortunately the guest that we were going to be talking to bailed. I know. I know, and I don't understand why, but yeah, it was just we weren't able to find anything else to talk about or do, so yeah, we just didn't have a show. So hopefully I'll be. We're just postponing my spot on there, maybe in a couple weeks or so when
hopefully
I get caught up on all of that. And it looks like Minion Kelly has finally figured out what the Q&A is for.
Yes, nice.
There you go. Do you
Thanks
have a question?
Joining us too.
Put it in quick before
for the end. Yeah, I love following that guy on Twitter. He's hella funny.
Yeah. Let's see what else. How about I just go through the bookmarks of the people that I have their podcasts listed on.
Bust the phone out.
Yeah. Let's see. You should all go and check out the Imaginary Friends show with Jake Farr Wharton. You should also check out The Herd Mentality with Adam Reeks. Book of Mormon with the other David.
Sexy voice David.
Right. Koranify Me with Paul, of course. Paul! Atheist Nomads with our buddy Wes.
Wesley!
The Scathing Atheist, which is an awesome show to listen to every once in a while. And so somebody that I've recently found that a lot of people don't necessarily know too much about, but This gentleman I have been listening to for years, a long time now. His name is David Pakman. You can find him on YouTube, yes. Or you can go to davidpakman.com and listen to his show. He's fucking awesome. If you like, the progressive angle when it comes to politics and news stories, and he talks a lot about, or sometimes about, 700 Club asshole Pat Robertson every once in a while. So, yeah. Those are the people that I have immediately on my favorites on my mobile bookmarks here.
Well, you pretty much just took all of my pimping, so right on.
Take that. Try and find some other people. Ask an Atheist radio show. Also the Atheists on Air radio show as well.
That's pretty good pimping. It's nice. I think I'm just gonna pimp. I'm definitely gonna pimp my wife, Amanda Hayes. You can find her on humanistmom.com. You also check out Heretic Woman. She's a badass. Find her on Twitter. We mentioned her earlier, and I didn't mention her, I think, in the past 2 episodes. And you should definitely follow Nancy Drew PI because she's fucking awesome. Nancy's amazing. Yeah. Follow Kairatron. She's one of the Thought Prophets. She usually posts things from Tumblr, so check her Tumblr out, actually. But it's Kairatron, at Kairatron. Check her out. Gosh, yeah, like I said, you hit everybody else that I can really think of.
Right. Damn right.
Yeah, like I said, all those podcasts are absolutely great. Check out the Atheist Experience, and yeah, that's all I really have. So,
yeah. I got a personal pimpin' for myself.
Do it.
So, yeah, my birthday was last month, and all of the lovely people around me purchased a PS4.
Boom.
And if anybody out there is on the PlayStation Network, they should friend me because I'm lonely, and I want to play some online games with people.
None of the Christians will friend him. Every time they get a hold, they start talking to him like, "Oh, you're a filthy heathen," and then they just defriend him.
Right. So
they block him.
My tag is Lord Snoosh, and it's SNOOSH. You can send me a friend request. That'd be awesome. And we can play, like...
Beef wins!
DC Universe, or...
We can play with each other.
Yeah. Once I finally finish Assassin's Creed 3 and start playing 4, then we can play that also.
Yay! Right on. Nice, right on. Well, don't forget to check us out. ThoughtProphets.com. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Twitter at Thought Prophets and at Prophetcast.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah. So, and of course, you can just put in Google Prophetcast and you'll find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, all those fun places. David, I just totally jacked your exit. I realized I didn't start the show.
I know, but that's all right. You have the cool ending that you can do to the show.
Well, I busted out, David. Thank you so much for being here. I love you.
No problem.
And I love all of you who listen to us. Because without you, I wouldn't have as many followers as I have. Well, so on that note, you have a godless night.